this is Lolly. I'm still working on my planner for 2020. I have so far, and this is the Elizabeth Craft Design Planner Essentials. This is the one in Champagne. I have all the tabs done through June, and I want to go ahead and get my month layouts in here so that I can start putting my plans in for January. So I wanted to show you how I'm doing this because I've had many requests saying that they don't really know how to use a planner and how to be consistent with it and what I actually use it for. So I do have the January tab. Here is the month. I have created this file. We'll give you a link to the blog down below in which I give you the free file where the month starts on Sunday and the one where it starts on Monday, depending on where you are and what your preferences are. So you have to handwrite in, though, the month and the actual days, but the days of the week are pre-printed on the top. It fits in A5, it fits in A5 Slim, which is what this is, and I want to show you how to cut that down to get it in here. So let's go to February, right there. We could just leave that there and open that up. And so here's what it looks like without the purple on it. It'll come printed. You print it out this way, you cut it down the middle, which is 5 1/2, and you fold this over. You trim this side down to where it's 4 3/4 inches. Then turn it this way and trim just a pinch off of both sides so that it will be, so 1/8 of an inch off of each end, so it will be 8 1/2. You do not trim this middle section here. You trim that, this, and this, and this. So I'll show you how that works. This is February. That's an example. Now usually I have my trimmer off camera, but I'm going to bring it on camera this time so that you can see it in action. And this is the Caterpillar Pro. I do love it. So I'm going to trim this at 5 1/2. That cuts it right down the middle. If you have weak hands, this is great. You just have to make sure you're pushing and holding your paper down so that it's not sliding around. So now that it's cut in half, this is where the hole punches are going to go. You don't want to cut that. Just fold this over and trim it down to 4 3/4. And what you're doing is cutting that outside edge. This is if you have an A5 Slim, okay? Now we're going to trim only 1/8 of an inch off of each end here so that it becomes 8 1/4 or roughly 21 centimeters. Okay, so now when you open that back up, it's perfectly sized, and here's where the holes go. What I've been using for pages is this, and it's Agenda 52, which is a you can see I've been using it quite a bit there. It's a multi-size planner punch, and you can see you adjust this arm here, and I have it set to A5 right there where the dot lines up with where it says A5. Okay, and it doesn't matter if it's slim or not, because slim has to do with this width here. I'm going to put the parts in there that go for the punch, and it lines up perfectly. This is a Hobby Lobby brand, and it works perfectly. If you don't have a Hobby Lobby, you can always use the Elizabeth Craft Designs punch. Oh well, it is just the stick that just punches the holes right in the side. And I'll give you the name of that. Let's see, it is, I believe it is Planner Essentials 8. I will verify, and I'll write that name right here. Okay, so this goes in there. Okay, so now I have February, and I have already pre-written all my other ones here. So I'm ready to cut them down and punch the holes. And I want to show you what I do at the end here. And this is dot grid paper. You can go online and actually print your own dot grid paper. Or this I bought from Amazon. I'll give you the link below. It's the right height. I just had to trim off a little bit on the end because it is A5 paper, not A5 Slim. I'm not sure when this closes. I don't have much room to have more paper sticking out. What this is my daily to-do lists. And I just mark them off as I go, and I just keep a running list. If it gets too long with things that are undone, I just draw a line and I start a new list, and I'll show you that in a minute in my current planner right now. And this I have printed myself as well. I made this. It's called the Brain Purge, and I believe that the Getting Things Done book, he may call it a brain dump. I'm not sure. I like the word brain purge better. So this is for all the multitude of items that I have rolling around in my head that I just need to write down that needs to be done in the future, and the first steps that need to be taken in order to accomplish that thing. When you get that out of your head and you quit worrying about it because you know it's written down, you don't have to keep fretting over it and wasting time and energy worrying about the things that you haven't done yet, because you know they're written down and the first actions to get that item done. So I'll show you how that looks in my current planner. So here's the one I've been working on. I've only been doing this for a short time because it's the last few months of this year. So there's a coupon right there. I put a zipper pouch in there. This, I did these at Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. So I did white paper on this one. So you can see there's my planner. There's the month. And what I did was I wrote a verse or a very important quote for the month. So when I write my month in here, I either write at the top or the bottom. I leave a lot of room here to write something important. I also leave the back blank so I can write notes there. I've written notes from been taking notes from the book, Getting Things Done. And so I have 2 bookmarks in here, which I'm going to do in my new one as well. This is the laminated napkin bookmark. I'll give you a link down to that video below. So here's how I do my to-do list. I just start a list and I start checking things off as they're done. If I'm going to restart my list, I draw a line under it and start over again and carry over the first things here that didn't get done that need to be written down here that are still applicable to me today. So for instance, if I wrote up here, groceries, get groceries, and I didn't do it, then I would carry that down here and I would continue my list. And then I just draw a line when I'm ready to start a new one as well. Sometimes I write over here, what is for dinner? So you can see how long my lists get because I just keep going and going. Here's where I have miscellaneous notes. I am testing my pens to see which ones go through to the other side. So this is my to-do list. Okay, my next one is for the month this time, but this is not where I had it. I think this came out because I had it with my brain purge thing right here. And this was when I was testing in the very beginning. I was testing how to make my my actual paper. So there are changes in that. And then I was testing different pens as well. So here I wrote some notes that I need to do before Creativation, something before an upcoming trip, the banner swap, what I needed to do yet for that. So then I switched paper to see, it's a new kind of paper that a friend sent me. I was testing it out. I really like it, but it was expensive. So I did print some out on that. I'm going to take these out and reuse them in my new calendar because I like it so much. So when my journal is closed, I could see by the tab, that's my month. For instance, if it's January, I could see by this that it's the brain purge, and I could see by this that it's my to-do list. Those are the 3 main things that I will have in here. If I just have miscellaneous notes and things that don't have a particular place, then that's what I use the backs of. That's what I use the backs of these for. If I want to put quotes and important things that will stay with me, I will put them here. Things that maybe that apply just to that month, I'll put them on the back or the front or the backs of the calendar pages. So I have plenty of room for notes there. But when I did these, the brain dumps, I did print them out double-sided on purpose so I wouldn't be wasting paper. So I am going to put these in here. I think I may have to get some of this paper. I will show you what I am using to print out my calendar and the rest of these brain purge papers. Now this is what I have from Staples. It's called Pastels paper. It's 20 pound, 75 GM squared, 500 sheets, and it is letter size. But you can see by the fact that you can really see through this. See, you can see how I don't know if you can camera, but you can see the brain purge from the other side here. And if you're using specialty inks, gel pens, etc., it will go through to the other side. Like a fountain pen, it will go through. This paper was better. This paper here that my friend sent me, this really thick stuff. So I'm going to, again, find out what kind of paper that is because I like that a lot. I don't see the other side showing through, and the inks, it holds inks a lot better. It's got some flex on it. It's a very pretty paper. But again, it was kind of pricey, like, you know, per ream. This was, I don't know how much this was, but it was under $10. And whereas this is closer probably to $30 for a ream. So that is how I do my planner. I wanted to show you now before the new year starts so that you could get these pages trimmed and put into your planner. You can use these for regular A5s. It doesn't have to just be A5 Slims. Thank you for watching. Make sure you check those links down below.